comments or questions of any of the reporters, people giving reports, save those to the end under the comments from members section of the agenda. We'd like to get through the reports and then deal with any issues or comments or problems at the end. First report is from Jeremy, the fish report. And I don't know if you all saw the report that was in the annual report that we sent out earlier this month. But boy, oh boy, great fishing in this lake. Go ahead, Jeremy.
And everybody hear me?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Yeah, there was a lot of information in that the newsletter there, so I hope you guys got a lot of stuff, reference fish and ice fishing and all sorts of things like that. Let's see, I contacted the DNR because technically we are on our every other year right now where we're supposed to get the fingerling plantings from the DNR, which is generally 50, 60,000 of those little things that all they do is pretty much feed the other fish in this lake. But they are on hold right now with the COVID. Basically, almost all the DNR fisheries people, everyone's on layoff right now. So I'm kind of going back and forth trying to find somebody who's available to help me out. But they said as of right now, it's suspended for this summer, so they don't know if they're going to end up planning or not. I have to get a hold of a supervisor next week when somebody returns my call. So that's on hold. I did contact our guy up at Stony Creek where we do our planning for our walleye crop. And he says everything's great for them up there. They've been continuously working throughout the shutdown and everything. He says so their fish will be ready and will be great for the fall. So that's still good. Reference our lake here. A lot of people have been obviously staying in and not fishing. So there's not a ton of great fishing reports. I did talk with Brandon Thompson, and he has been seeing a lot of bass and pike being caught recently. And also with the water warming up a bit here, he's finally starting to see the bass and the bluegills starting to head in to the shores to start getting their beds ready. So I would anticipate this next month being pretty good to be able to get some more fishing in and some reports. And for our next meeting, have that for you. And reference the Hump Day fishing tournament that goes out on Wednesdays. We kind of had that issue last year when they came out and fished on Wednesday.
Right there, that you're,
and kind of when we sprayed, they came out and fished that day, and that was a problem. They are on hold right now. They don't even have any of their fish tournaments till July at the earliest. So when we spray, we'll be fine because they're not going to have any fishing tournaments at least till July, if at all. So I'm going to contact him again in June and find out if he's found any hard dates when he's going to have his fishing tournament going again. And when I know the 1 or 2 times that they will hit our lake, I will relay that information to you guys.
Okay, great. Thank you. Cameron or Brandon Thompson, the golf outing.
Cam.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Cam.
Yes.
Cam, congratulations on that new baby.
Yeah. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it, guys. Emmeline Ann Thompson. We love her. She's a bundle of joy. Anyway, hope all you guys are having a good Memorial weekend. Sounds like the fish are biting. I've seen a lot of fish out front here, so good report, Jeremy. Anyway, my brother and I are organizing the Long Lake Property Owners Association golf outing. Brandon, as most of you know, works with Carol Wilson Real Estate, and he is busy on showings all day today, so it's just me. Long Lake golf outing started about 7 years ago with Faith Dobson. Faith ran it for all the years and is living in a different state now. So Brandon and I figured we'd take it over. This outing has always been at the Wicker Hills on a Sunday afternoon, and that's made it difficult for a lot of people to attend. So this year, the location's the same, still at Wicker Hills, but we moved the golf outing to Saturday, and the date you need to write down is Saturday, August 29th. Start time's going to be in the morning. As far as an exact time, we don't have that yet. Format's going to be the same. We don't have an organization or charity that we are donating to yet, but more so aimed at having fun with the Long Lake community. Shotgun start, we golf, have a potluck afterwards, they give away prizes. Last year, everyone who attended ended up winning a prize. So we have a lot of fun, so hopefully all of you guys can come out and join us. How to register. We will have more information at the next meeting for the exact details on how to register. But in the meantime, if you have any more questions, feel free to get a hold of myself or Brandon, and hopefully we can answer them.
Right. Thank you, Cameron.
Yep.
Next report is from Chris Till, the water quality. Chris?
Well, hello there. How's everybody?
Good.
The water quality from last year to the previous years, almost the same. The Secchi disc was about a foot difference. The phosphorus was a little bit higher in the fall. Everybody watched that fertilizer on the lawns. A representative from Michigan State came up, the lady in charge of water testing. Her and I did the test together out on the lake. She took hers back to the university. I mailed mine in to the state. Results almost identical. So that was a good sign. Bad thing is that Gretchen Whitmer, in her wisdom, decided to cancel all the funding for the lake quality testing for this year. So it will not be taking place this year. And I will no longer be doing it, but I would gladly train someone this summer to take it over if it does come back.
Okay.
And
Thanks, Chris. Thank you. Is Mike Solomon on? Lake treatment update from Mike Solomon. Mike, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Real good. It's good to join you at least by Zoom. It would be nicer to be with you in person, but this is great.
Like wipes, disinfectant wipes, and any of this, if you leave it in the car.
Oh, okay. I'm going to talk over that. Our planned survey date is June 3rd. We only were allowed to do surveys starting May 1st, so we've been working from the south to the north, and June 3rd actually fits in pretty well for Long Lake, but subject to temperature and storm events and that type of thing, we feel we'll be there June 3rd. Probably treat within a week of that, and our guidelines for notifications are the township, the association through Chris and Lynn Till. Subject to the discussion that previously occurred, we were going to do no Wednesday treatments, but it sounds like we can treat, and that was because of the fish tournaments, but it sounds like we can treat Monday through Thursday, at least during the month of June. And we also need to give a 3-day notification to DNR Fish Division. So it takes a little coordination. The one change that has come up with treatments is Eagle, formerly the DEQ, has implemented a new treatment rule, and it's only for native species. We can treat invasives as we have been able to in the past, and that's virtually everywhere, but we can only treat to natives to a depth of 5 feet or 100 feet out from shore, whichever comes sooner. The previous rule had been 300 feet from shore. I don't think it'll have a great effect on Long Lake. Most of the native treatments tend to be within 100 feet from shore, but just give you a heads up that that change has occurred. So are there any questions about surveys, treatment, that type of thing?
I'll have to unmute everyone for a second. All right, everyone's unmuted, so if you have a question or a comment, you can unmute yourselves too.
Yes, I do. Hi, this is Bob and Patrice. We live on the canal. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Just want to be sure that the canal gets some attention. I think one year, I don't know if it was last year, we did not get treated the first time. And by the time August treatment came around, it was so overrun that it was too late at that point. When they come out to evaluate, there will not be, but that doesn't mean that they aren't there. the canal is, as you know, a breeding place for native weeds. And we're warmer in the canal, and once they start, they explode. And then it makes the canal unpassable.
Yeah, and so noted, the aquatic vegetation needs to be growing fairly good to take up the herbicides, but we will look for that on the first treatment. I think we did 4 or 5 treatments on Long Lake last year, and I know we were in the canal, but appreciate the input, and we will certainly be watching for that.
Okay, yeah, we missed the spring. I think we didn't get a spring treatment, but we got
Yeah, you
the
got-
August one.
The August one should be on the screen right there, so. I believe that's the August treatment. If you can see the map. Okay. Anybody else? I'm going to mute everyone again.
Liaison Roger Huda. Roger?
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to remind everybody that the bike trail in Loon Lake is now totally open. If you haven't tried it out, I would recommend it. It's really a nice biking and hiking trail. And in addition to that, Kokosing is supposed to be paved from M65. And they were going to add 2 feet on the side of the road so that you could have bikes. And we thought it would be a lot nicer to add another 3 feet to that, because that's going to tie into the Iron Bell Trail. So we went and tried to get a grant. We were surprised, and we did get a grant for $30,000. So
Wow.
we're getting bids right now to get an addition, a 3-foot addition on it would run from 65 up to the Loon Lake Park, and it would be 5 feet wide, so that you can bike without interfering with traffic. I'll give an update on it once we get the bids in to find out if we can pull it off or not. Secondly, we approved a seasonal nursery and greenhouse on County Line Road. It's going to be on the where the proposed supposedly campground is going to be. It'll be in the corner next to the yellow house. So that'll be going in pretty soon. We're still working on whether we're going to have July 4th fireworks or not. I'll have to make a notice on that. Now, as of now, the parade is canceled. Next is I am now the liaison between Restoration Lake Sciences and PLM for the township. So it's no longer Fred Lewis. If you have any concerns on that, you can contact me and I'll be the liaison. As Jim pointed out, the gypsy moths, we went to bat on that. We went down to the commissioners because we found out they had $37,000 down there that we could use for spraying. And we got some flack from the other commissioners because they said, well, everything is going to go to Plainfield Township and it should go to everyone. So we told them that, if right now it's only our area up to Channels and Joe's Lake and North Long Lake that's affected. And if we nip the bud here, it would take care of it. And they said, well, if you can get the other townships to agree on it, which we did, we've got most of them, and we went back and it got shot down. So if you have any complaints about the gypsy moths, I would recommend that this is not a township problem, this is a county problem, that you would recommend by calling Charlie Finley, the county commissioner, at 989-619-0546, or his email address, which is charlesfinley@gmail.com. That's all I have.
Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it. Last report, John, the website.
Hold on, I got to unmute him. We don't let him talk without permission. There you go, Mr. Lessig.
Geez, thank you.
Hi, Dad.
I'll talk to you later, boy.
Gonna ground them?
Well, the website is obviously up and running. It's been a learning experience. It isn't complete yet, but I have an associate that will certainly help me. His name is Mike Lesich. And ultimately, maybe I can shift the responsibility over to him.
Any relation there?
I'm trying to help, trying to help.
Or
Can't
check
afford a
in
Father's
today
Day
to
present.
find out.
Okay.
That's about it.
Tell my mother to keep it down. We're in a meeting.
Hey, Pat. Mike wants you to keep it down. We're in a meeting.
I didn't really mean you to tell her that. All right, let's go.
He didn't.
What's that?
Thank you, John.
Just say hi. So,
Hi, Pat. We're coming to the comments from members. I indicated earlier if they had any comments or questions, save them till the end. We did that with all the reports except for Mike Solomon's. But anyway, any comments, questions from anyone?
Cam Thompson here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been noticing a lot of ticks around the area lately, and I've talked to many people who've been in the woods and in their yards, and I had 2 on me yesterday. So just keep an eye on the ticks that are around.
A lot of ticks around.
Okay. Thanks, Cam.
thank you.
I've got a
Anybody
question
else?
for Roger.
Go ahead.
Jumped in his car.
When you say posting's going to be paid from 65 to where? Is there a stop point or is it going to be the whole length?
I think it's gonna be the whole length, but we were only concerned with the, from 65 to the park. That's where we're gonna put the additional 3 feet.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I have a question.
Okay, Chuck.
This is probably out from left field, but with all of the catastrophe going on in the Midland area with faulty dams and so forth, and I know we have an entirely different situation here, but does anybody know the inspection frequency of the dam on our lake to see it, determine its integrity? Again, I know we have a different situation, but I'm just curious whether there is an inspection schedule and if it's adhered to.
Oh, that's
Anybody have information about that?
It gets inspected by the drain commissioner, but I don't know how often.
I know if there's a problem with our dam, we won't see the same catastrophic situation, but it would be a little more comforting to know that it is inspected on some periodic basis.
Yes, be unmuted.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's make an effort to find out before the next meeting, for sure.
Chuck, this is Roger. I can check it out. I'll talk to the drain commissioner and I'll get back to you.
Okay, thanks, Roger.
Thanks, Raj. Anyone else?
Hello. Yes,
Hello.
I have something.
Okay.
The water level is extremely high right now, and it's because of the rain. But there was one wakeboard board that went by yesterday and brought water on the lawn about 5 feet. Is there any way the lake level can be lowered through that dam, or is it monitored? Because some of this water is up over seawalls.
Roger.
Yeah, I got, it's kind of interesting that you mentioned that. I just found out that there's a public act, 451, and we can request to have the lake lowered during the winter period. It's for ice damage and all that. And I'm going to check into it, and I'll have to come back because I just read it in a little article that I found on there. So maybe we could do something. Originally, we were told that only a judge can do it, but apparently this public act can allow the county to do it.
That would be spectacular.
But I'll check it out.
Thank you.
That dam is fixed. It has a fixed height. It's not variable.
It does have a spillway.
It can be opened up.
Yeah, it does have a spillway.
Yeah.
But
And I think the government, the court set the minimum height. That's how high the top of the dam is, but they didn't set a maximum height. So I would think that it could be, you could reduce the, you could open that spillway a little bit, I would think.
But the
Yeah,
county
I think
would
that's
have
most
to
likely
approve it.
true.
But on that note, with the level so high, if we can just police ourselves and our families, and usually the problem is with the wake boat because they're made to create a big wake so you can do the stuff behind it. Till the water level goes down, maybe just talk to your own family members and see if they can hold off on that a bit.
Yeah, exactly right.
I agree. Thanks, Lynn.
Because we all know the water's going to drop pretty rapidly over the next few weeks. So,
Yeah, that will happen. Anything else?
Maureen?
Who was the one who asked the question? I was writing and I didn't see who was asking the question.
The question about the
water level.
depth.
The water level.
Sandy, somebody.
Sandy Seaman.
Oh, thank you.
Good.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Go. Who
Hi,
are you?
I'm Trevor Tipstra, and
Okay.
I'd like to thank Lynn for bringing up that point on the wake. We're actually getting wakes from these wake boats right in over the seawall into our guest house. I mean the boathouse. So yeah, I would like it if everybody would be cognizant of that. My second thing is I'd like to thank Roger for his report on the gypsy moths. And I'm wondering, Roger, if you could perhaps make a synopsis of your report in maybe a paragraph, post it along with, I believe it's Charlie's phone number and his email address on the Facebook page. I think that we could really rattle some chains if we were to have that information in front of us. And I think a lot of us would participate in that process of reaching out to him.
Okay.
Actually, I also have a question. It's for Roger. Roger, would you explain to us a little bit why they decided not to spray? Wasn't there a reason that they said, well, we're going to do this instead of spraying?
Yeah. What they did when they did the survey, they hired Michigan State University Extension, and the lady that was in charge of the survey, she decided that we should hold off 1 year because a few years ago they implemented that some kind of a bug or something that was going to take care of them, which it did. But it's been 9 years since they put that they put that bug in, and I don't think a lot of it is around. So we went to an expert in Midland. He's the head guy for gypsy moths, and he's the expert on it, where this person from MSU was a generalist. And we talked to him, and he went out and he checked it out and looked at the survey and all that, and he says you definitely need spraying. And that's when we went to bat and got shot down.
So in answer to Jim's question, Roger, the reason was because they were still relying on this bug or this supposed issue or way of curing it that happened many years ago. They didn't really give you an answer directly.
Yep, she figured let it go a year and see if the fungus works, and if it doesn't work, you know where we're going to be.
Yeah.
Sounds like we've been down this road before for another situation recently.
Yeah, and we could have nipped it in the bud this time too, and so now they're going to end up having to have the whole county go back to hire somebody to do this like they did before, and it's going to be an assessment.
Okay. Anything else? Everybody put their money in for the 50? Oh, no. No 50. Next meeting is on the 4th of July. Hopefully we'll be all in one place that day. We'll keep track of that for sure. Anything else?
Right now, because we got it early, we do have permission to do the 4th of July boat parade, and it's scheduled for Saturday, the 4th of July.
Right.
So for now, we'll just keep that there. even if there's a distancing thing, I don't see that being an issue because the pontoon boats are clearly 6 feet from each other when you're end to end. So I don't see that as being a problem. It's right now scheduled for the 4th of July, so get your decorations ready.
Okay.
So this is, sorry, I put it in the chat. This is Sarah Morrison. I have a cottage on Tecumseh. And I just wondered what other restrictions or plans the lake owners need to be aware of because of the COVID-19. Because I see that I've been watching the COVID-19 map, Michigan map, and it's gone from 4 around Easter to it's up to 70 something now in terms of confirmed cases.
You're talking about in Iosco County?
I am, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not aware of any particular, other than everyone's aware of what the recommendations are statewide, and hopefully we're all following that. For sure. Anyone else? Anyone want to make a motion to end this?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, Jeremy, anybody second?
Second.
Who was that?
Roger.
Thank
Roger.
you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, see you soon. Enjoy the summer. Thank
Thanks
you.
again, Michael.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See y'all. See y'all.
Come back.
Everybody.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks again, Mike.
You're welcome.
Lynn.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone.
Lynn, hey, Lynn, do you hear me?
I do.
That hail insurance form is supposed to be signed and sent in, that bond
Right.
coverage or whatever that we have.
Yep.
And that lady bugs me every week or so. That's over at your house right now with your daughter-in-law.
That's not due till July, but
I know it. I know it. That's why I think they just like to get their premium paid or something. But anyway,
For some reason,
they
my
don't get it
picture
till
didn't
it's
show
due.
up.
I thought I'd let you know.
Okay, yeah, I got that covered.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Not a problem.
All right, we'll see y'all later. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Mike.